Naga goddess tells woman, "You are my mother. Your paintings bring us into your world."
So I'm experiencing that my art is a portal that I'm creating. So it's a portal to 5D, to higher dimensions. And so I have visions when I meditate or like when I'm in connection with the light beings and with my soul, I get a vision of a painting that I'm supposed to create or channel.
And I'm seeing in my mind a picture of you outside in a garden in front of an easel. And it brings up so much emotion in me. There are little like elves and sprites, and they're dancing around, and they literally dance around when you paint. Like, it makes them dance, and they're also the souls. Wow, this is wow. Whoa, I felt so much energy come through me with this. There are souls that want to come into this world, into the 5D world. And your painting gives them the ability to come here. In this next ET channeled reading that I'm going to share with you, we are going to once again experience something that I've never thought of or heard of. These channeled readings become more and more amazing and interesting. We find out that this artist is being given a gift that allows her to create paintings that actually create interdimensional portals, which allow the recipient of the painting to use to pull themselves into the higher frequency of what we call 5D. We also find out some interesting things about her past life as a queen, and we find out what kind of an incredibly powerful goddess she is in the higher dimensional realms. And more importantly, we find out that she has the ability to help the new starseed souls that are coming to Earth prepare for the 5D Earth. This is a very special ET reading. I hope you stay till the end because it just continues to get more and more interesting as time goes on. What I am learning by doing these channeled ET readings is that human beings are the most powerful spiritual deities in the entire multiverse. In fact, only the most powerful of deities are allowed to come here and incarnate. So, what I do in these ET channeled readings is I channel the information that comes from higher dimensional extraterrestrial beings, and the result is that the person that I'm talking to goes through what I refer to as 5D reintegration, where they reintegrate into their higher dimensional identity. Every one of them is unique and every one of them is powerful. And so far, all of these readings I've done have been unbelievable. All right, I am here once again for a ET channeling session with my good friend here, Lisa Antonsen, and yeah, we're just gonna see what the light beings have to say. Lisa, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell people who you are, how they can find you, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so I'm an artist. I paint oil paintings and I live in Sweden on the west coast. And you can find me at Instagram on Lisa Antonsson if you're interested in looking at my art.
Yeah, so give me when we're all done, give me a link to that. I'll put it in the description so people can find it.
Okay.
Um, so the light beings are here. They showed up like a few minutes before we did, and so they're very excited to be here, and so I'm looking forward to that. But I'd like to know more about your experiences with your art. With these readings, what I'm hoping to do and what I'm experiencing is that I'm creating a portal to whoever I'm working with, and the light beings connect with them, and it creates like a mini 5D, that we can walk around with. So that's what I do. But I'm interested to hear your experience with your art.
So I'm experiencing that my art is a portal that I'm creating. So it's a portal to 5D, to higher dimensions. And so I have visions when I meditate, or like when I'm in connection with the light beings and with my soul, I get a vision of a painting that I'm supposed to create or channel. And then I try to like convey the feeling of the vision I have in my paintings and with colors and shapes. Um, and I'm like, this is a pretty new experience for me, or realization that that's what I'm here to do. So I'm working on it and trying to let them work with me when I paint. And also, it's very interesting because painting for me is very hard because I'm experiencing a lot of resistance, and it gets easier and easier the more I'm in that energy. But like if I don't paint for a month, it's extremely hard for me to get back to in that space or in that energy. Um, so like yeah,
So would you describe that as like the third dimension pulling you back into that
yeah,
negative mindset?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So that's my experience as well for me personally. And it's certainly what I'm seeing, that now that we're hitting this 3D, 5D split, that it's not happening to us. We have to choose to walk that path every day.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're saying the same. Anyway, okay. So they've already begun telling me things. As soon as you started talking, tremendous power. They're saying that you're going to explode onto the scene. Your art's going to explode onto the scene. That you are far more powerful than you can even begin to realize. And that you're going to be an example. And I'm seeing now you like, like a shepherdess, you're walking forward, and not that people are sheep, but they're walking behind you. You're showing the way going forward. Your art has the ability to shatter people's 3D illusion, their hypnotic illusion. Your art shatters that. And that's necessary to wake people up. They need to be sometimes shocked into being awakened. So your awakening will happen every time you do a piece of art for somebody. So it's a win-win. It's not an either or. It's not like you're the one doing it, and it's like you do it, you awaken, they awaken. And so the more people that you are able to awaken, the more that you will awaken. And this, you've set it up this way. You set it up so that you would have to do this for your own personal awakening. Okay. So, what more would you like to say? Do you have anything you want to ask?
Mm. Wow, that was very beautiful to hear.
Hmm.
Mm. That helps me a lot. Mm. I don't have any particular question, but like if there is anything they want to tell me that can help me when it comes to my art, um, I'm struggling very much right now, and like I'm barely surviving because I can't work a normal job. It's destroying me, and I just can't do that. So I don't, I'm broke a lot, and like I somehow I managed to survive, but yeah, I'm really struggling. So if there is anything, they I'm open to anything.
Okay, so a little bit ago, what I heard was she wants to know why we're here. Um, and of course, all of the things you've heard them say before. We love you very deeply. You're very special. You're very powerful, extremely powerful. And I'm seeing a vision of in higher dimensional realms, you're like much larger, big, huge, bright goddess, and they're like kind of at your feet, looking up at you, admiring you. And so that vision of you has not changed for them. You're so powerful, you don't even know it. So, those kinds of phrases just keep repeating over and over again. Okay, so we want you to know why you're here. You haven't fully embraced it yet. So it's time to let go of the old understanding of yourself. You have done a lot of that. And it it is much easier than it appears to be. It's as simple as simply just taking off a coat. And if you're able to just simply do that, it's like the coat is keeping your energy tight. And as soon as the coat comes off, there's going to just be this explosion of light. It feels like it's going to be a hard, slow process. And that thought, that experience slows it down. So you take smaller steps. But if you just simply take the coat off and shine, it'll be immediate and it will be, it'll go like from night to day. Boom. All of a sudden the sun is up. It's not going to be little by little. It's going to be immediate. Now, I can vouch for this myself. So, what I'm doing with you right now was not something that I had any intention of doing. This was a suggestion. So, I know you've worked with them a lot, and maybe, sometimes they can very rarely, my experiences, maybe yours is different, but my experience is very rarely they will come and say, shout at you, hey, do this. What they do with me, the movements that I take that have the most impact come from somebody going, hey, here's an idea. Why don't you try doing this?
Mm.
And that's where this came from. But at least some of the time I've had enough interaction with them to know that tiny suggestions are enormous. They're the equivalent of saying, do this. This is what you're supposed to do. But they know that it has to come from us. And if we feel like it's a command, like God is commanding us to do it, there will always be this weight about it, and we won't have any fun and we won't enjoy it. So it has to be something that we choose to do, even if it's frightening. We have to say, okay, I've decided I'm doing this. This is my, this is my decision. And the truth is that it's not them telling us what to do, and it's not even our decision. The truth is, this is our own karmic design. We designed it this way. So you came here, you chose to be born into this world for this very reason. So that's the answer to the question. She wants to know why we're here. This is why you're here. And this is what's going to give your life the meaning. Total meaning will be this. I know that sounds like a lot to say, but this is the defining truth of your soul. So now I'm getting a very beautiful picture of you in the higher dimensions, that you are the great revealer. And I'm seeing you like this. You have this, you're not, like a human figure, but you have this beautiful smile, and it's a very warm, inviting, loving, almost maternal smile. And it is extremely attractive to the light beings. Like when you're not here and you're up there and you're being your goddess self, the light beings are drawn to you. It's an overwhelming, like they can't resist it. It's so wonderful and sweet and nourishing and expansive. And so the experience they have is they feel this, like they're being drawn to something very beautiful. And then when they get to you, you're like this light that shines into the whole multiverse. When they get to you, uh, they begin to start seeing their true essence and who they really are. And that becomes so inspiring to them that then they go off and, do whatever they do, create universes or work with people or guide people. But there are whole like races of beings out there that are exclusively devoted to you, to learn from you. You're like their goddess. No, you're not like their goddess, you are their goddess. So, again, just to remind people watching, what I've been shown over and over again is that human beings who incarnate here are the single most powerful beings in the multiverse. This is the most challenging school for gods. And so all humans, no matter where they are in the third dimension, they have that in higher dimensions. And again, we love you beyond anything you can begin to comprehend and understand. We love you so much it hurts. And we want so badly to help you. We can only help you to the degree that you work towards your goal yourself. So, in other words, your actions towards, in this case, painting, when you do that, you then open up the portal for them to come in and help you. If you don't paint, it's not that they're going, we're not going to help you if you don't paint. They're not doing that. It's like, we can't. They can't get in. Um, and it's because right now we're either working towards opening towards the fifth dimension, and not, or we're acting towards the third dimension. And especially people like yourself and like myself who are on the front lines of this, we have it more challenging than a lot of people who have the ability to go in and out. We don't have that. We don't have that choice. So let's see. So I have a question which is coming up, which is why is it so difficult? And the direct answer is it's difficult because you make it difficult. They say we don't understand why we make it so hard on ourselves. I mean, they understand, but from the way that they feel, it's like they wouldn't, it's like hitting ourselves in the head with a hammer. And like, I wouldn't do that to myself. Why are you doing that? They understand that it's different for us, but these questions are designed to make us go, yeah, why am I doing that? Why is that so hard? So you know why you're here, and we know why you've come. We want to show you where things are going to go. Are you ready to see that?
Yeah.
Where things are going to go is difficult to comprehend. There's a wall that you will be breaking through. And on the other side of that wall is like nothing you've ever seen before. And you know what we're talking about. You've been there. And then I'm seeing a picture of you on the other side of that. And you have a string and you're pulling. What are you pulling? You're pulling people. So you're being asked, oh, this explains a lot. You're being asked to live in that realm exclusively. So you'll have a third dimensional body here, but you will be over there. And your art is that string that pulls people to where you are. So your job is to pull people to where you are. So your feelings about not wanting to stay here aren't coming from nowhere. So it's not just that you're depressed and what 3D people are going to tell you, oh, you're so depressed, come back to reality. They're going to talk like that. That's not what's happening. So you have to just let go. It's okay to just live there. And the way to look at it is that we're on assignment. So if you were on assignment in a foreign country, doing some work and things were challenging, you'd be like, yeah, I knew this is what it was going to be like. I'm doing this work. So time for vacation will come later. We're here to work. And there's only one thing to do, and that is to bring people into the higher dimension. So I'm getting the feeling that there's a it's not every single person on the planet, but there's a certain number of people that are going to be pulled into 5D, and then the door will close. And nobody's going to be left out. It's going to be, those people ready, or they still have things they need to work through down here. And so we're not to waste any of our energy on them or with them. And you're going to start, they're talking to both of us now. You're going to start recognizing people from past lives in higher dimensions. You interact with them, you're going to become aware that, oh, that's who this person is. This isn't just some person on planet Earth. This is somebody I have. So this is a karmic restructuring, a karmic awakening. We have we have some karma to balance. We have a small little bit of karma to balance here in the third dimension with people that we've known. Okay. So they repeat it again. We want her to know why she's here. You're so close. You're both so close. Okay, what do you want to know?
I don't know a lot about my past lives here. I just have the feeling that I have lived a lot of lives here, but I'm not that interested, so I haven't asked a lot. But if there is anything they want me to know about it.
You were a queen, and it was difficult for you. It was uncomfortable. You don't like being put in a position where you feel superior. There's something about that I'm trying to understand, put it into words. We know she doesn't remember that, but we remember her. She went to great lengths to help poor people. This was very painful for her, feeling a lot of sadness and frustration because you weren't able to break out of your prescribed role, you know, and you didn't like that. You wanted to be down in the dirt with everybody and just be with everybody else, and you weren't allowed to do that, and the separation was very painful for you. It was very difficult. It was a very, very painful life. Ironic, because you had all this wealth and all this power, but people around you wouldn't let you do what you wanted to do. And the reason you chose that life was so that you could become aware of the narrative, the slavery narrative that we have in 3D Earth. So you wanted to understand that. And so the extension of that life in this life is you now have the power to free people from that enslavement. And this is what your art is. So there's something about the pain of that. It's painful for you to do art. And so let me see if I can understand why they're saying they understand that's painful. She's got a big task ahead of her to show people their true selves. You don't want to hurt people You don't want to make people feel bad. So this is the struggle. Your art will awaken people, and you hold on to these old ideas from that past life of not wanting to hurt people, not wanting to make them feel less than. And so you're conflating what ends up happening when we awaken, because you've had this experience, I'm having it. This is not necessarily an easy experience to be awakened. It sounds really wonderful on paper. Oh my God, she's a goddess, and it sounds wonderful until you're the one that sees it and experiences it, and then it creates this, kind of traumatic confusion between who we are, who we're told we are, and all of that. And so because you're so empathic towards people on an unconscious level, you're worried that your art might hurt them. Of course, it won't. But what you're really trying to avoid is the shock that people will have when they awaken. And you're trying to protect them from that. And so, of course, that's mixing in with all of your 3D human stuff. And then it creates this very painful thing. So that's why when you start doing it, it can be very difficult. You've created in this life, that's why you've made it so difficult to, you know, financially to function. Because if you even try a little bit to get a normal job, it won't work. You put that in there because then you would be forced because you knew it would be so painful that if you had the choice, you would just go and work some other job because, it's just too painful. So you set it up so that you wouldn't have any choice. And you know that you do have the power to manifest what you want. You do know that. A lot of people don't. I know because I work with them. You're not one of those people. So this isn't about an inability on your part to know that you can manifest what you need and what you want. You're trying to find some other way, and there isn't. You haven't allowed yourself any other way. There's only one path. And the people who need to hear from you can only hear it from you. If they don't hear it from you, they won't hear it. A lot of emotion. So this is coming from the light beings they're talking about them. They have so much compassion for those people. So they don't want to make you feel guilty, but they have so much compassion for those people. And they know that, again, based on old karmic ties, that you're the only one that can reach their frequency. Nobody else can do it. And so there's no choice left. So talk about your ideas. I mean, I know they've said a lot through me, but I'd like to hear your ideas about what you would like to see happen when you paint for somebody, when they receive something from you.
I've been thinking about if I can create personal paintings for people that will help them connect to their soul. So it will be something they can have in their home to look at and have like a guidance, like a channeled painting for them.
Yeah, what just came to mind was that literally, if people hang that picture on their wall, that picture will then be a window that they can go through. So it will be a portal to the next dimension for that person.
So am I supposed to, I mean, I want to ask them if I'm supposed to work with other people like that when it comes to my art, or if I should only paint like what comes to me, like what I'm doing now.
All I can tell you is when you were talking about working with them, they were jumping up and clapping and screaming. And so they're not saying no, like, no, you can't do, you can do whatever you want. But that, if you work with people like that and create a portal for them, the light beings, they're beside themselves and with happiness and ecstasy. She got it. That's it. That's it. It's very frustrating for them because they know what the answers are and they can't just come and tell us because it has to come from us. But when this is great because you ask questions because the questions are coming from you, and you go, yeah, that's it. That's it. She got it. She figured it out. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Question popped in my head. Where would you like to be?
What do you mean?
I don't know. It just popped in my head. Where would you like to be?
Like here on Earth?
Okay, like I said, I don't know. Just a phrase that popped in my head.
Mm. I want to be more in nature, and I want to have a garden where I can paint, like outside, closer to nature. And I mean, I live in a city now, and I'm so sensitive, and I don't. I'm trying to find another place. Um, so I have a vision. I want to be more in nature, and I want to have a garden where I can paint and close to the ocean.
Okay, so I'm feeling a lot of emotions, and I'm seeing in my mind a picture of you outside in a garden in front of an easel. And it brings up so much emotion in me. There are little like elves and sprites and they're dancing around and they literally dance around when you paint. Like it makes them dance and they're also the souls. Wow, this is wow. Whoa, I felt so much energy come through me with this. There are souls that want to come into this world, into the 5D world, and your painting gives them the ability to come here. So while you're painting, you might not even be thinking about them. The energy that's coming through you, they will be, like I said, like little babies and little beings will be dancing around. And someone will just be sitting there and they'll be playing or watching you. But what's happening is that your the energy that is being pulled through you is something that they need to be able to then make the transition into being a human. And beings, uh, star seeds from other galaxies who've never been human before, they weren't able to come here in 3D Earth because it was too harsh, but they want to come into 5D and they're going to be with you. And just as you're doing your thing, they'll just be next to you because being next to you will allow them to shift their frequency so that they'll be able to be human on Earth or even create new species of humans on Earth. And they want your help, and they want your guidance, and your presence guides them. So just being next to you when you're lit up, it it helps them. So they're bringing that worship, you know, in the astral realm. You're this goddess of light that just, and they sit in front of you and they worship. So they want to come do that here, but they can't do that if you're not operating from them. And you're so close, so close. So there's only one way out. I mean, the level of just this, I'm sharing this with you so you'll understand. Uh, the level, since I took their suggestion, again, it was just a suggestion. Why don't you try doing this? And I went, oh, I don't, but that's how I felt. But I said yes. And then I waited. You heard me even talk about it on the channel, like, days or weeks. I'm going to start doing this thing, right? And I was really uncomfortable about it. But I've never experienced anything like this in terms of the level of energy that comes through. Some of the things that I just saw for you. I don't, even in my meditations, I don't feel that level of energy. So I'm sharing that with you because that's going to be your experience. When you make art, it's going to be a whole other level because other people will be involved. And when it's not about us, like right now, this reading isn't about me, it's all about you. And the light beings and it's about them. I'm doing them a favor because they want to be able to talk to you in ways very clearly. So I end up getting all the benefit of that. So I'm the one getting all the energy and all the emotion, and I benefit from it. So you will also benefit in the same way. Okay. Now they seem to be, they're like happy. Like, okay, yeah. Like, phew, okay. Because that they did their job. They gave you the info. And you said that this is them talking. You said you didn't want to leave us. So don't. If you want to stay with us all the time, this is how you do it. It's not us leaving you, it's you leaving us. And everybody gets what they want. Everybody's happy. But it's important to understand how much joy you bring them. I know this is hard to digest, you know, because our brains tell us how little we are and insignificant. We all go through it. I know you go through it. But they really want you to know how grateful they are to you and how important you are to them. Not just from like, oh, not from out here, like it's like a relationship and they want to be close to you. And it hurts them if they can't be close to you because they miss you. I don't know, something's going on. I don't know, I don't know what that means. I just got some energy on this side of, anyway, I don't know what that is. I'll have to figure that out on my own, but Okay, there's nothing else at the moment. You have questions?
I think um, at least one of my guides that I'm communicating with is a Naga being. Um, and I don't know, I just feel so much for snakes and for Nagas, so I'm wondering if there is anyone there.
Okay,
If you,
let's see what happens. So I'm seeing in my mind's eye a naga slithering up, a cobra. It's a she. She's not saying anything. She just slithers up and she's just there. So I don't know. I don't know beyond that. She's just there, and there's a depth. There's no words for it. Yeah, she'll understand later. But yeah, short answer is yes. So it gives me I get the feeling that that will be revealed later. But it's on another level that right now it's just enough to know she's there. Very powerful, very regal, and like I'm seeing her, and then there's this energy inside of her that glows from the inside. Very ancient, of course. She's a Naga, very powerful. She says, "You don't have to talk about me. A lot of emotions are just now flowing through me. A lot of a lot of deep, ancient love and understanding. And then her slithering up behind you, head comes over you, and then her hood comes around you. You'll always be with me, Mom." She calls you Mom, and she's so much intense emotion, so much love, so much power. She says, "We'll talk about this soon." So it's private. It's between you two. She doesn't want to publicize. She says, "You know what she's talking about." She says, "You're my mom and you always will be. Nothing can change that. Not even you," she says. Wow, that was interesting.
oh, yeah.
They're saying that you and I are going to be friends for a long time. That we've worked together in the past, in the astral realms. Okay, so now they're talking about me and that all of the people that have worked with me are waking up and coming towards me. The whole family's coming back together again, they say. And we're so happy to see this. And it's about the world coming together and healing itself. and that we don't have to worry. This might be more for me. We don't have to worry about the shift coming or not coming. There's no way that it can stop. It can be stopped. And there's no way that we can't be our true selves. So we don't have to worry about it. It'll make it easier if you just relax into it, flow with it, but there's nothing we can do to stop it.
Mm.
Okay, that feels like a lot. So I get the feeling like they're done. Like, okay, that's good.
Mm.
All right, so yeah, I will put the contact information for you. Um, I think you hit on it. This is just my opinion now. I think it's a great idea for you to treat this like a healing session with somebody. You can allow it to be about, like you said, I'm here to help awaken you. This 5D reintegration painting or whatever word you want to use, so that people seek you out not just because you have some good art, but they seek you out because they want you to make their portal, their revealing, what I call you, the great revealer. So you're going to reveal the path for them. That's my suggestion for you.
And that
Okay.
I advertise it that way, that it's a portal, and
It's specific, personal for you. I only make when I make a portal for you, it's just for you. And it's the light beings who are doing it. This is how they, yeah, however you'd want to put it, but that's definitely
yeah.
people are going to want that.
But it feels so weird to use those words here in this world because it sounds so grandiose.
Yeah.
And
Look, it's same thing happened to me, but look what's happening. I mean, more and more people are getting these readings, and look what just happened in this reading. I didn't make that up. You didn't make that up. Uh, this is real. There are actual beings, individual powerful beings, and it's not just, you showing up and you have your ability, like it's like, no, we want to show up with you. So um, you're not overselling it by saying your guides will paint through me for you. So yeah, I know exactly. I mean, I never wanted to be a channeler. I thought that was ridiculous. It
yeah,
was never my idea to do that, but it's the most powerful thing I've ever experienced. So yeah, it's grandiose, but what's wrong with that?
mm,
Nothing wrong with that. You're beautiful and powerful and nothing to be ashamed of.
mm,
Okay, I'm wiped out.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Any last minute thoughts or questions before we wrap this up?
Oh, I think that was a lot.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Queen Goddess of the Mighty Revealer, Mother of Nagas, thank you so much for allowing me the privilege and opportunity to be a part of this and to share your gift with the world. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'm going to end the recording now. This transmission is nothing unusual. Every single person that I've given readings for, you find out in the higher dimensional levels, they are the most powerful beings you can imagine. In fact, if you'd like to have your own experience with light beings, please come to the live guided interdimensional meditations that we do live every Wednesday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. They're free, and you can go see all of the ones we've done. You just go to the live tab on my YouTube channel and you can see all of them there in case you can't make the live ones. That's it, my friends. Check out all the other links here in case you want to see all the things that I provide with the sole intent of helping you to expand into your highest 5D awareness and to bring 5D to planet Earth. Thank you very much. I love you all. Please be very good to yourselves. I'll see you all very soon.